I think when we get there, everybody's going to know they don't deserve it. I've told this story before. This was the closest thing I could get to in my mind. We had a prison chaplain come to our church in Mississippi, and he told the story of leading a man to Christ in a pickup truck at what's the name of the prison? Parchman Penitentiary. He told us this story, and there were people sitting in our church that said, I don't want that to be true. I don't want that to be true because I don't want that guy to go to heaven. This man had raped and murdered a 3-year-old little girl. 3-year-old little girl. Raped her and held her face down in a mud puddle until she died. Got caught, got convicted, got sent to prison, death sentence. This guy, this chaplain, began to share with him and talk to him and expressed and explained to him that God loved him anyway. Led him to the Lord. That guy got saved, called for his lawyers, and said, stop all appeals, don't do anything else, I got to get out of here. He told this chaplain, he said, I cannot live with myself anymore. I need to die because I know what waits on the other side, but I can't live with myself on this side. And so all appeals were stopped, and they executed him. And his last testimony was, I'm going where I'll be forgiven. I don't have to live with this anymore. Is that all right with you? You're going to get to heaven, you're going to meet a guy walking down the street and say, oh my gosh, that's the guy the preacher was talking about. You will know him. Only I don't know if you'll know him like that or not, because it's forgiven. Is it all right with you that people like that can go to heaven? See, and something in our mind says, I'm not like that. We're all like that. None of us deserve heaven. All of us have to be forgiven. And yet, we don't extend forgiveness to people who hurt us. Hello? Father, forgive them. They don't understand what they're doing. They did. They knew exactly. And Jesus says it's okay? I don't know. You want justice? I don't think so. I think we want to hate, and I think we want revenge because we feel like that's fair. Point 3, and we're done. Whew. Can you comprehend forgiveness? If I had to guess, I would say unforgiveness is one of the biggest sins in the church. Listen very carefully, and we're going to be done. Rosemary, go ahead and start walking, would you? I want you to listen very carefully. I'm not going to have an altar call this morning, by the way, because who in the world would get up and go to the altar this morning and say, I need to pray about that, preacher, because I'm not sure my attitude's always right. But we're just going to close with some music in case somebody can't stand the thought of leaving here without telling God something. I'm going to start this over. If I had to guess, I would say unforgiveness is one of the biggest sins in the church. I say that because we take something from Jesus that is not ours, the right to judge. And He didn't even do it when He was here. And we judge, and we convict, and we condemn, and then we set about to carry out that righteous sentence, even if it's in our own mind. And all the while, Jesus is loving us and the one we hold in such contempt. And here's the problem. In our hatred, we want God to agree with us. After a time, if we do not see our idea of justice being carried out, we will begin to hold God in contempt for not siding with us. And we will turn our hatred, and we will turn our loss, and we will turn our sense of injustice toward God and then toward Jesus. And we will say, if God doesn't see how I'm feeling and remedy it, then I don't like God either. And I know you know this verse, but look at that verse. We're just going to let it sit up there, and I'm going to be done. I'm telling you this morning, there are people in this room who need to forgive other people. They may be dead. They may be long ago dead. But you're carrying it is irrelevant to their death. You may not know where they are. They may be long ago out of the picture. They may be like real close. But I'm telling you, we need to learn to forgive people. And I'm telling you this morning with everything I know how to tell you that I don't think I can comprehend it, because in my humanness, I see other people as being wrong. And what I've asked God to help me with in my own little bitty mind is to look at other people through the eyes of Jesus, who even when He was being wronged in the most unbelievable way, He couldn't just form the thought in His mind, He could form the words on His lips to forgive those people. I want you to stand this morning. We're going to wait just the briefest of moments, because as I said, this is not an easy sermon to respond to.